All right, everybody, this is Aaron Breitman, the Scarlet Faithful, coming to you minutes after Rutgers romped Coppin State 90-57, completed the non-conference regular season schedule, 8-3 record, obviously hope for better, not end of the world. You know, another blowout of low major opponents, which honestly, people say, oh, they're playing, Coppin State. They should win by 33. Well, they didn't last season. They haven't really ever in the Pikel era consistently beaten every low major team by 25, 30 plus points. And they did this this year, all six, and it's done wonders for net. They were 25 coming into tonight. I have to imagine they'll move up. It all depends with other teams as well, but they'll move up a couple spots after this game. To be in the mid to low 20s heading into Big Ten play. I mean, think about last year. They never got better than 77 making the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, they were in just far better shape going into Big Ten play than they were last year. They're Ken Palm now. They moved up to 21 from 22. Analytically, on paper, dominant performance on both ends of the floor tonight. I did think defensively they didn't, for what they're capable of, I didn't think it was a great performance, which I actually like, because going into Purdue, I wouldn't want them to give their best defensive performance tonight going into Purdue. Maybe that sounds weird, but I really, really am excited to see them on Monday night at Purdue. I think they have a legitimate shot. I think if they can play to the potential defensively, share the basketball. This team is so unselfish. 30 assists on 34 made baskets. Most assists since 1992 in a game. I love the vibe of this team, the way they play together. They really they play together. They play team basketball on both ends of the floor. And I think that, I've said it before, but I think aside from their ability to play elite defense, I think the chemistry they have and their unselfishness, seeing Cam Spencer, started the game 5 for 5 from three. Some of the passes he made, Caleb McConnell, 8 assists. Let's see, Mulcahy had 4. Cam Spencer had 7. Derek Simpson had 6 assists off the bench. Everyone wants to pass the ball on this team, and it's leading to better shot selection. It's leading to better shots within the flow of the offense. Can't say enough about, listen, obviously they have to score against good Big Ten teams, good defensive teams, and they have to prove they can do that. Indiana was not. They're pillow soft. Ohio State is a good team, and Rutgers played really well. I thought, not perfect offensively by any means. They scored in the high 60s, but, I thought they looked good on offense in terms of having playing with purpose. So I'm really excited now that Big Ten plays here. Huge week ahead. Purdue at Purdue, number 1, Purdue, Monday night. Then you come home and you have Maryland on Thursday night. It was at January 5th. And then Iowa at home January 8th, Sunday. I was, reeling right now. Maryland at home is a game you need to win. And then Purdue, really, there's no pressure. You go to Mackey and no one expects you to win. But they always play Purdue tough. And Purdue's undefeated. Very good team. Tremendous coaching job again by Matt Painter. But not an invincible team. And, I really hope that all the lessons learned by Rutgers during the non-conference, during the first couple months of the season, the disappointment against Temple when they were, obviously shorthanded without McConnell and Mulcahy, outplaying a very good Miami team, was now, by the way, 13-1, ranked number 14th nationally, leading them most of the game, up 11, I believe it was, in the second half. That was a game we felt like slipped away. The Ohio State loss, obviously Seton Hall, is a frustrating loss, but again, that came after Ohio State, so mentally this team was not there. And now they've responded since then. They got through that. They blew out Wake Forest. They've now blown out Bucknell and Coppin State. So I mean, they've played about as well as they could have the last 3 games against inferior opponents. But again, what they did against Wake Forest was really encouraging. And now the real fun begins. So you play Big Ten competition, and this is what's going to determine the season. Their fate is ahead of them. It's in their hands. And it's going to be really fun to see what this team can do with the season on the line now. Tonight, again, Cliff, 20 points, 13 rebounds in 24 minutes. I thought Peichel did a really good job rotating the bench. No one got a ton of minutes tonight. McConnell got 30. Similarly, and Cam Spencer got 31, Mulcahy 29. But, Mag only had played 18. Cliff played 24. Simpson got 21, which is a good run for him. 6 points, 6 assists. Andre Hyatt only played 18. Wolf Folk, the Wolf. Really good off the bench tonight. 10 points, 5 boards, 16 minutes. Loved his footwork down low. His just awareness in the paint and traffic, his hands, the way he moves, his kind of fearlessness near the rim, that play he had from the free throw line and just, drove the lane with no one there and just slammed it home. There was no hesitation. I really, really, really like him. I love the way he gets low for loose balls. You saw Andre Hyatt diving for loose balls. Everyone on this team is competing. Everyone on this team is playing for each other. And to me, that's the biggest takeaway from tonight is just the way this team has come together with a lot of new parts. I feel like we're at the point now going into Big Ten play. This is where you want them to be as a team. And Mulcahy getting, a few games now in. McConnell, obviously, he's hitting his stride. Just love to see it. Look at his line. 9 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals. Tremendous night from him. Cam Spencer started 5 of 5 from 3-point range. Again, he had some tremendous assists as well. Also added 4 boards, 3 steals. I know some people already got tweeted at, stats are meaningless tonight. Listen, they're never meaningless, and it tells you about this team. Yes, was the competition great? No. I wrote about Coppin State's, scandalous issues right now, which didn't seem to really get addressed much otherwise this week. But, Sam Sessoms, is a good player. But Rutgers, jumped out to a hot start, just like I had written in my preview that they needed to. Set the tone. Did not play great the first 8 minutes out of the second half. Was very sloppy. Coppin State plays a fast pace. And Rutgers, kind of got caught up in it and just took some bad shots and defensively weren't, really dialed in. And then they snapped out of it. And they ended up, winning the half by what? I guess they won 33, so they won the half by 9. And Peichel pulled the starters with like 6 minutes to go. So, again, you're going to play your starters more with net, but I think people say, oh, why were they still in the game? 5 minutes to go. Well, you look at overall minutes, and I think he got good run with a lot of bench guys tonight. I thought none of the starters, really playing more than 30 minutes. They're going to be ready to go Monday night. They're going to go in there, nothing to lose. I think this team's got a chip on their shoulder, and just, again, really love the vibe and the energy of this team going into conference play. They need to win 11 plus Big Ten games to go where they want to go. And I think they're capable of doing it. I'm just excited to see them have the opportunity. I think these next 2 weeks are going to set the tone. Aside from Purdue, Maryland, and Iowa, then you go to at Northwestern. Very winnable Q1 game, by the way. Northwestern's playing very good defense as well. And then you have Ohio State back at home Sunday night, January 15th. So, those are 5 Big Ten games. You could say they very well could go 4-1. They might not. They might go 3-2. God forbid. If they go 2-3, certainly a concern. But I think, they have a real chance to do some damage here and set the tone in Big Ten play and be at the top of the standings, in a couple weeks and just show that, they're capable of being a top 4 team in the Big Ten again this season. And then you have the news tonight. Brian Fonseca, credit to him, breaking the news. Dellquan Warren, 4-star point guard out of Erie, Pennsylvania, class of 2024, committed to Rutgers. I've hinted at this before, but the 2024 class really has a chance to be a program-changing class. What Peichel is doing with that class, he's reaching kids that want to come to Rutgers to change things for good. Like, really. And I know NIL is a huge deal. Dylan Harper, obviously, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Duke and Indiana are all over him. They can offer a lot more with NIL. But I think he's a kid that, ultimately, not, I shouldn't say ultimately, but I do think I think he's very aware of legacies through his brother, obviously Ron Jr., and what it can mean doing it for his home state. So we'll see what happens there. Tyler Betsy, another 4-star small forward, friends with Harper, has, seriously considering Rutgers. Then you have 5-star forward, Arias Bailey, Georgia. Teammate Jermichael Davis, who just committed to Rutgers as well recently. He is a top 10 player in the country, and recruiting services are saying Rutgers is in a lead. So, I know people have said, oh, well, 4 stars, 5 stars have visited in the past. They never choose Rutgers. This class is a different feel. I'm going to write about tonight. It has a different feel. Dellquan Warren committing tonight, 6'1" point guard. Really strong on the ball defender, good shooter, can penetrate. This kid's good. Right fringe top 100. He's 103rd in the composite, 97 for 24/7 Sports. Western Pennsylvania, not necessarily a hotbed, but was recruited by. He visited Ohio State, Xavier, Cincinnati. Was recruited by Alabama. This kid had real options, and Rutgers locking him up now is absolutely huge. So, really good night, a really good position. Again, low to mid-20s in the net, 21 in Ken Palm going into Big Ten play. Yes, they don't have a ton of big wins. Yes, they have, some losses that, they let slip away. But I think all in all, this team is in really good shape to go into Big Ten play and really make their mark. That's what they have to do now. So I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Oh, just the fact that I think this team, shooting wise, they concerns need to defend the 3 better. Even though they're top 3 nationally in 3-point defense, they are allowing some open looks. They aren't shooting great from 3, although Cam, had a big night. Free throw line needs to remain consistent. They need to rebound, really well in Big Ten play. And they need to bring it defensively every night. So those are things to look for this coming week. I'll have plenty to say on thescarletfaithful.com, and appreciate everyone watching once again. And Happy New Year.